Good morning, I'm Craig DeGrelli. It's Monday, October 28th, 2024, and these are your Unbiased Updates. It's the final full week of the presidential campaign as Donald Trump and Kamala Harris make their final pitch to voters, their main themes, and where they go from here. And that was fast. McDonald's is bringing the Quarter Pounder back, the latest on the E. coli outbreak, and if it seemingly is over.
From the Straight Arrow News Studio, bringing the stories that matter to you from across the United States and around the world. These are today's Unbiased Updates.
It was a weekend full of big rallies, big speeches, and big names as Republican nominee, former President Donald Trump, and Democratic nominee, Vice President Kamala Harris, aimed their sights on undecided voters with just over a week to go until Election Day, hoping celebrities and well-known figures will help them get their message out. After recording a 3-hour-long podcast with Joe Rogan on Friday and speaking at an event in the battleground state of Pennsylvania on Saturday, former President Trump held a rally Sunday night at New York City's Madison Square Garden. Trump was joined by high-profile names such as Tesla CEO Elon Musk, former Fox News host Tucker Carlson, pro wrestling superstar Hulk Hogan, and former presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy. One guest who was not listed as an expected speaker, surprising the MSG crowd, former First Lady Melania Trump, who introduced her husband.
Let us charge together with a shared vision that builds on American greatness. Let's seize this moment and create a country for tomorrow, the future that we deserve.
The former president then took the stage, speaking for more than an hour, telling his supporters why a second Trump presidency would be better than a Harris administration.
On issue after issue, Kamala broke it, but I will fix it. We're going to fix it. But we're just not running against Kamala. I think a lot of our politicians here tonight know this. She means nothing. She's purely a vessel. That's all she is. When you see her up there talking about the grass on my front lawn, I grew up in a middle-class neighborhood and I had grass on my front lawn. Yeah, but we're asking, what would you do to fix the country? And why didn't you do it yet? Almost 4 years. Why didn't you do this stuff?
Meantime, Vice President Harris was joined by Beyonce at a rally in Houston on Friday and former First Lady Michelle Obama during a stop in Michigan on Saturday.
So Michigan, with all that being said, I got to ask myself, well, why on earth is this race even close? I lay awake at night wondering what in the world is going on. And it's clear to me that the question isn't whether Kamala is ready for this moment, because by every measure, she has demonstrated that she's ready. The real question is, as a country, are we ready for this moment?
In Philadelphia, Hollywood stars Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro stumping for the vice president over the weekend. Harris then speaking at a campaign event in Philly on Sunday, talking about the importance of the election.
And we know this is going to be a tight race until the very end. So we have a lot of work ahead of us. But we like hard work. Hard work is good work. Hard work is joyful work. And make no mistake, we will win. We will win. We will win.
Today, another rally will be held in Philadelphia in support of Vice President Harris with Bruce Springsteen and former President Barack Obama. Donald Trump heads to Georgia. One particular moment from the former president's Madison Square Garden rally is making headlines this morning, but not for the reasons the Trump campaign was intending. Before the former president took the stage on Sunday night, comedian and podcaster Tony Hinchcliffe was one of the speakers who addressed the crowd.
There's a lot going on. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico. Okay. All right. Okay. We're getting there. Again, normally I don't follow the national anthem, everybody. This isn't exactly a perfect comedy setup.
In response to the comedian's comment, Trump campaign senior advisor Danielle Alvarez issued a statement saying, "This joke does not reflect the views of President Trump or the campaign." Hinchcliffe's comment drew instant criticism from Democrats as well as Republicans, including the chairman of the Republican Party of Puerto Rico. Prominent Puerto Rican figures, including entertainers Jennifer Lopez, Bad Bunny, and Ricky Martin, all posted support for Kamala Harris on social media. Democratic vice presidential nominee Tim Walz and Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez reacted to Hinchcliffe during a live stream of the event.
People in Puerto Rico are citizens. They pay taxes and they serve in the military at almost a higher rate than anybody else.
Yeah. I mean, it's like super upsetting. Obviously, it's super upsetting to me. My family is from Puerto Rico. I'm Puerto Rican.
Hinchcliffe later responded on social media, saying in part, "These people have no sense of humor. Wild that a vice presidential candidate would take time out of his busy schedule to analyze a joke taken out of context to make it seem racist. I love Puerto Rico and vacation there. I made fun of everyone. Watch the whole set." In the Middle East, Iraq is now accusing Israel of violating its airspace when it carried out a series of strikes on Iran over the weekend. In a statement released Monday morning, an Iraqi government spokesperson said Iraq has sent a letter to the United Nations to condemn the purported breach. On Saturday, Israel struck military targets inside Iran in response to the Iranian missile attacks on Israel earlier this month. Iran has also claimed Israel used Iraqi airspace to carry out the attacks and accused the United States of being in on it. American officials have said Israel did notify the U.S. about the strikes, but the U.S. was not directly involved. According to the Iraqi statement, Iraq's prime minister has told the country's foreign ministry to raise the alleged Israeli violation with U.S. officials. Meantime, in Gaza over the weekend, an Israeli strike killed several people at a school that's being used to shelter displaced Palestinians. The Israeli military claims it was targeting Hamas operatives, and a Hamas command center was embedded in the compound. Meantime, Egypt's president announced on Sunday his country has proposed a two-day ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. During the proposed ceasefire, 4 hostages in Gaza would be freed. Israel and Hamas have not yet responded to the proposal, but ceasefire talks are being held in Qatar. Back here in the United States, Quarter Pounders are back on the McDonald's menu after that deadly E. coli outbreak. The fast food chain said it will resume selling the iconic burger at all restaurants in the coming days, but it will look a bit different in 900 restaurants across 12 states. Those restaurants will resume sales of Quarter Pounders without onions. While a specific cause of the outbreak has not been confirmed, it has been linked to a produce company that supplies the onions used for the Quarter Pounders in certain areas. The E. coli outbreak has led to 75 illnesses across 13 states, including 22 hospitalizations and 1 death, according to the CDC, with most of the illnesses happening in Colorado and Nebraska. NVIDIA dethroned Apple as the world's most valuable company briefly. It comes after a record-setting rally in the stock market on Friday, spurred by demand for the company's specialized artificial intelligence chips. NVIDIA's market value briefly touched $3.53 trillion, just slightly above Apple's $3.52 trillion. But Apple ended the day on top. NVIDIA ended the day with a market value of $3.47 trillion, still a win for the company as it ended the day up. Both companies are part of the S&P 500's Magnificent Seven, which are driving the index to record levels, and futures are up again this morning. Finally this morning, as the World Series takes the cross-country trip to Yankee Stadium for Game 3 tonight, Los Angeles Dodgers fans are breathing a sigh of relief over their star player. Shohei Ohtani is expected to play tonight after injuring his left shoulder in Game 2 on Saturday. The injury occurred when Ohtani slid into second base during the 7th inning. He left the game, giving Dodgers fans a scare, even with the team winning the game and being up 2-0 in the series. Dodgers manager Dave Roberts told ESPN Sunday that Ohtani will play tonight as the New York Yankees are set to host the World Series for the first time since 2009. Major League Baseball is hoping Ohtani's quick recovery will help continue the series' high ratings. So far, the 2024 Fall Classic, which has already seen a walk-off grand slam, has averaged 14.5 million viewers per game, the most viewers through the first 2 games of a World Series since 2017. And we'll see tonight whether the Yankees can get back into it. Those are your unbiased updates for this Monday. We'll see you back here tomorrow. For all of us here at Straight Arrow News, I'm Craig DeGrelli. Have a great day.